Have you ever wondered about those who dream of a better life versus those who create it? Are you waiting to accomplish your dreams and goals? Welcome to Create It Now. With your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to put your dreams into motion and create it now. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. That's 731-1230. Or toll free 1-866-820-5528. That's 1-866-820-KLAV. Now let's bring on the host and create it now. Here is Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome to the Create It Now radio show. We have an exciting day today and some amazing interviews I'm super excited we're going to jump into in just a minute here. In studio today we have Jonathan Stone, myself, Dawn Elizabeth, and a special interviewer co-host. We have Michelle Roxy Davis with us today. How are you, Michelle?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on the show, everyone. Yay, I get my own applause also.
You do.
Love
nice.
it. Love it.
Yes. Along with being a radio show host of your own, you're also a columnist and a model, and we're so excited to have you here.
Well, thank you very much.
Yay. And we're going to get to know you a little bit more later in the hour. In our first hour, we have a calling guest today who's going to be talking a lot about how to help people with publishing and about a book that he has. Correct, Jonathan?
That's correct. Yes, we are so honored to have Mr. Bill Gladstone with us. Not only is he an amazing agent and placed more than 5,000 titles with dozens and dozens of writers and stuff, but he is actually one of the most kindest, nicest people I've ever met, an absolute gentleman. And we are honored to have him. And he's an author himself, and he's going to be telling us about his new book called The 12th. Bill, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. And just to get the details out of the way, people who do want to follow my blog and learn more about my books, it's williamgladstone.org. That's my author site. And the new book is The Power of 12. My first book in this series is The 12, and they are a package, but you can read the second book, The Power of 12, which just came out 2 weeks ago without having read the first. And the audio edition, for those who prefer to hear their books, listen to them, is available from Audible, and it should be popping up on Amazon and other places soon. It was just released on Monday. So it's very good timing for your show. I know a lot of your listeners are writers themselves, and as an agent, I've represented thousands of writers, and good fortune for us and them.
Yes.
Many of their books have become, major bestsellers. People like Eckhart Tolle, Neil Donald Walsh, Gene Houston, Barbara Marx Hubbard, Jack Canfield, and the list goes on and on. But we're probably best known for having been the agent for the For Dummies series. We placed the first 200 titles in the For Dummies series, and we also were, for about 15 years, the primary source of how-to books about how to use computers. When the Internet took over around the year 2000, those books stopped selling in huge numbers, so we switched our focus to mind, body, spirit, and business titles. But I look at publishing very much as a business. As a writer, though, I write novels, I also write nonfiction, and I empathize with the creative urge, which is the real reason to write, because as a business, it's iffy. But as a creative endeavor, for me and others out there who enjoy writing, there's nothing better. And, of course, the trick is, can you combine the creative side with the practical business side? Not easy, but occasionally it works.
Nice.
Hey, Bill, I wanted to ask, how did you begin as a writer?
Well, you begin as a writer by writing.
Well, that's good.
I'm the son of a publisher. My father founded a publishing company in 1936, and my mother was an avid book reader. As a young child, she read to me all of the Wizard of Oz books, the whole series, and other books. And so I fell in love with writing and respected writing, as a very young person. When I learned, how to write myself, I started keeping a journal when I was about 15. The stimulus for that was my mother had given me a copy of Albert Camus' notebooks, and I saw just keeping a journal was a fascinating activity. So I started just by writing every day in a journal, And by the time I got to Yale University, my journal was pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually submitted it to Jerzy Kaczynski, who had won the National Book Award, and it was just selections of a diary I had to really, I was only a freshman at Yale. It was really what I had written my senior year in high school, and he read part of it, and he said, "This is really good. You should be a writer." So I always, sort of knew I wanted to be a writer, and I remember, doing things like writing plays and just, the way other kids might, and I was a normal kid. I mean, I played baseball and football and tennis and all those good things. But, where somebody else might be into painting, I was into writing. So it was just something I always did and always enjoyed. And when I graduated from Yale, I thought about becoming a full-time writer and wrote a novel. And my editor thought it was great, but said, you're an unknown, and this is a literary kind of book. I don't know how we're going to sell more than 20 copies. And my father discouraged me from writing, even though he's a publisher, because he said, writers, they're a dime a dozen. We have them coming in and out. None of them ever make more than
because that was my
10.
second question. Was your father your mentor?
No. Well, from the business side, he was. And he was a very good businessman. He was a brilliant marketer. He was the first publisher to really explore how to sell books outside of bookstores.
Interesting.
He was the first publisher to put books into pet stores and into vitamin stores. He was a major health book publisher and a major animal. He had the largest collection of books about horses in the world.
Really?
So he was a very innovative, creative guy, but he looked at books as a business and a business only. He didn't do novels. He didn't do, mind, body, spirit books that I'm doing myself.
Mm-hmm.
But he was my mentor in terms of looking at book publishing as a business. Then my mother was more my intellectual mentor. She loved books. She was a big fan of Jane Austen. She had such a large collection of Victorian novels that when she passed, she gifted the collection to her alma mater, Barnard, which is now part of Columbia University. So I grew up steeped in books, and it was normal at dinner. Bennett Cerf and Simon of Simon and Schuster, and Max Simon. I mean, I met all these people. I was a kid, 5, 6, 10 years old, but these were everyday people to me. So it was very natural to write, and major writers would come through as well. So I was steeped in this, and so it came naturally, and I enjoy writing, and my own process of writing is actually effortless. I find promoting my books harder work than writing the books. But in today's world, you have to do both.
So would you go along with your father to all the pet stores and all the different places he would market his books?
Yes, as a kid, absolutely. Yeah, we
great.
went together, and I went to warehouses and saw how the books were stored, how the books were printed, and there were a lot of perks. I mean, I ended up learning Spanish when I was a kid and living in Spain, and so one summer, I wanted to get back to Spain. How can we do that? Well, we've got some book accounts in Portugal you should call on. So,
That's awesome.
I really was exposed to every facet of publishing before I was even 18. And actually, when I graduated from Yale, a major publisher tried to hire me to be the editor-in-chief of their company. And I looked at him and I said, I haven't even graduated yet. You want to make me your editor-in-chief? He looked at me and says, you don't know what you know, do you? And I said, I guess not. Then my dad ended up selling his company. He had some health issues. And I came out to California really to work in the film industry, because I also have a background. I worked with Rod Serling on In Search of Ancient Mysteries.
Wow.
And, was offered the associate production position for the television show. I actually turned it down because I wanted to explore teaching. I thought I might want to be a professor, and I taught at Andover for a couple of years and got a scholarship and went to Harvard University and studied cultural anthropology, did field work in Brazil. So I've had, colorful, fun, adventuresome life. And then one thing led to another. I took a position with Harcourt Brace Jovanovich in 1979, became senior executive editor for Harcourt in California, was in charge of the California division, and then left after 2 years because I thought I had an opportunity to start my film company. The financing fell through. I was stuck needing to make some money. The books that I had agented or that I had acquired as editor at Harcourt had been canceled because they were too esoteric or required too much sort of New Age thinking, or not really New Age, but intellectual thinking. I had books on the link between cancer and diet, and this was 1979, 1980, when nobody felt that was necessarily true. I had books on the holographic model of the universe and why, from a scientific perspective, it may actually be possible to predict the future scientifically, while at the same time understand why it doesn't always happen the way you think it's supposed to happen. So I had all these crazy books. So just as a favor to the authors whose books were canceled, I started agenting the books, and it was a good marriage because I needed to make a little extra money while waiting for my film money to come through, which never did come through. And then one day somebody brought in a book about D-Base 2. I sold that. The book went on to sell 5 million copies, and I realized that this whole computer world was a great opportunity, and I was introduced to the founder of InfoWorld, and they gave me a free subscription, and I realized that any company that advertised a full-page ad for their product 4 weeks in a row was worth doing a book on. So without knowing anything about computers, without having a computer myself, I became the technological guru as far as New York publishing was concerned, and ended up selling. That's why I was able to sell thousands of books, because I didn't actually have to read the books. In fact, I didn't even have to know what the books were about.
You were way ahead of your time.
I guess. And then I got involved with all kinds of fun things. We started the very first ebook company and the very first print-on-demand company.
Awesome.
I was actually too early. This was 1999. I think we sold 6 copies of our bestseller. There were no devices. You had to read your ebook online. And Steve Potash was my partner. He went on to create Overdrive, which is now, I think, a $100 million company. So, at least one of us struck it big. But I wasn't suffering too much in the meantime. We did all those dummies books and, had lots of success and lots of fun, too.
Yeah, sounds like it. He's one talented guy.
He is, and he's still into producing. Tell us a little bit about Tapping the Source.
Well, it's really Gail Newhouse who was the primary producer for the film Tapping the Source. But I did finance it, and I kind of star in it. And, I certainly did the interviewing, which was important. So I am a legitimate co-producer. And that is really a great film. We've won film awards, and it's changed people's lives. I mean, we were told by the distributors who also distribute The Secret that this was, in their opinion, a much better film than The Secret.
Wow.
But, of course, The Secret hit everything at the right time. By the time we came out, everyone who was interested in human potential pretty much had either seen The Secret or was recommending The Secret as the film for people to see. So we've done well with, selling the film, but not nearly at the level that we had anticipated. But the film is still available and still making a difference. We actually got a report. We give away a lot of copies, and we gave some copies to a hospice, and the hospice reported back that 2 of the 50 patients who looked at the film had transformational experiences that improved their health just from watching the film. So we're very proud of the film Tapping the Source. Over 122 people were interviewed in an 89-minute film, and we were told by Gary Goldstein, who produced Pretty Woman, that we had created a new genre of talking head films because it moved so quickly that you never were aware that it was a talking head at all. So we're very proud of the film, and it was a fun project to do. And I got to meet some great people.
Oh, I bet you did. That's a lot of juggling that you did with being a publisher and then getting into the movie business. I mean, gosh, do you have any time just to breathe?
But the biggest thing is hardly. I mean, I wake up every day. I mean, particularly right now because I'm doing a lot of radio and TV for my novel, The Power of 12. In fact, this is my 3rd interview today. And, I was on this wonderful event, Global Oneness, with Gene Houston and Dr. Irvin Laszlo, who happen to be clients as well as good friends. And we had 35,000 international listeners. And, then I was on, I think, National Public Radio, did a show. So I'm doing a lot of shows. So when you add shows to writing, and now my publicist has told me, and I follow their advice, that you have to have a blog if you're going to be relevant today.
Yeah.
So now I'm blogging 3 times a week, and I'm still agenting.
And you're still able to breathe and relax and have time for you, right?
Well, I insist that no matter what else is going on, every Wednesday I play golf for 4 hours, no matter what, if I'm in California. And I play tennis every Monday and Friday morning, and that gives me a semblance of balance. But, yeah, I think I'm probably a little on the workaholic side. But
just
but it's fun. I don't really consider it work, except when it's too much. I mean, the big thing that I haven't mastered is How do you deal with 200 emails a day?
But, Bill, I do have to say you do answer them. Every time I've ever emailed you or wanted anything, you have always replied, and it's pretty much immediately. But the other thing I want to say, though, is I've been fortunate enough to have been to your house, and these people don't know. He lives right on the water, pretty much, in Dell. You in the most gorgeous place, Cardiff by the Sea. And so that gives you some peace and relaxation.
You have to have your perks, and if you're going to do a lot, you need to be able to relax and enjoy life, and I do, and I feel very blessed and fortunate. I've been,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and and Bill, yesterday we were talking about that, being able to balance that work and life and being able to relax and stuff. And, you're a wealth of knowledge, and we do have to take a quick break. We'd love to keep you on and get some more insight from you. I know myself and Michelle, we are both interested in creating books and how to go about doing that. So we'd love to talk to you more about that if you don't mind staying on with us.
I'll stay on. You do your commercial break and I'll just stay right here.
Thank you. So you're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Create It Now, and follow us on Twitter at Dream It, Create It. We're here talking with Bill Gladstone, and we will be right back.
Hi, everyone. This is New Media Vegas, your Sin City webmasters in Las Vegas, Nevada.
More than just web design, complete integrated marketing with inspired innovations in delivery of your new media message, putting the groove and the backbeat back in your brand.
The hottest in design trends with the latest innovations in marketing techniques. Call New Media Vegas at 702-517-0184.
Or visit us online at www.newmediavegas.com. Don't forget to check out our online magazine, Sin City Presents, featuring business, technology, fashion, dining, and entertainment news.
702-517-0184. 702-517-0184.
Hey, this is Danny Vegas, and let me tell you something. When you're ready to stop dreaming and start doing, you need to tune in to my friends at Create It Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I said, quit dreaming and start doing.
The best television isn't on television. It's on the internet. Log on to realwisdomtv.com for thousands of hours of motivational and inspiring content. On demand, all the time. Unlike network television with its sex, drugs, and rock and roll, realwisdomtv.com provides wellness, wealth, and wisdom. From how to read faster to creating greater wealth, realwisdomtv.com is for you. The learning never stops, and neither does realwisdomtv.com. Log on now to realwisdomtv.com.
Create It Now. Continues. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Welcome back to the Create It Now radio show, where we are talking with Bill Gladstone about publishing and creating our own books. And we are here in studio with Jonathan Stone, myself, Dawn Elizabeth, and special guest host, Michelle Roxy Davis. And Michelle, you had a question for Bill.
Yeah, Bill, I'm really intrigued about your story, how you started off writing a journal and then you continued with your education to further in your knowledge about being a publisher. Tell me, I've been a columnist for the last 3 years in Vegas Rocks magazine, and I'd like to know how I could proceed in the steps to becoming a published writer, and also how I could market my book the best after it would be published.
It's almost the reverse. You have to figure out how to market the book, and then you write the book.
Oh, okay.
The marketing comes first today. We're living in a different age.
Right.
And the chances of being discovered are about the same as, winning the lottery.
Uh-huh.
It's just not happening, particularly with the big New York publishers. You can still get published, but, not from a major house unless you already have what they call a very large platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have a platform. It's just not large yet.
Right.
You need to expand everything you're doing. If you can get your column picked up by national rather than just Vegas, then you start to be in the category that the national publishers are going to be interested in.
Okay. What
and
tips?
you should also think about possibly just doing the book first as an ebook, we actually created for this very reason. We have Waterfront Digital Press, and we're encouraging some of our newer authors to just go with us. It's more of a partnership. We have the authors funded. It's not very much. They pay for the editing, and there's some upfront setup fees depending on how much editing you need. It can be as little as $1,000 to $3,000, $4,000. But then with our model, the author gets 75% of the proceeds, and then we hope to find a traditional publisher, or if the book just starts taking off, we can then do traditional print and traditional distribution ourselves. So those models, they're kind of hybrid models between self-publishing and traditional publishing, I think are going to become more and more prevalent. The problem with self-publishing today is you have literally 250,000 self-published books.
Right.
So how do you differentiate one from the other? At least if you work with someone else, even if you're co-financing it, there's a filter and there's someone who is being selective about what they're doing. We are only interested in authors who are legitimate authors whose books might actually be able to sell 10,000 or more over time. So that eliminates, a lot of people who, are just doing books because they don't
like
have
it.
anything else to do.
Right.
And they have extra money, or maybe they're doing it. And there's lots of reasons to write a book and self-publish, and I'm not denigrating that in any way. But, we're focused on, people who really do have the desire, the ambition, and the resources, to become major authors. And it's not easy. So
would you agree or disagree that building a better platform for a lot of writers is first to start an ebook?
Absolutely. Even to start an ebook, and an ebook can be a way to do that. Blogging, of course, is now essential. I've started blogging, and I'm enjoying it. But if you're going to do it and you're going to do it well, it's serious work. And in my case, I'd say I probably, could be making $1,000 a week on the time I'm spending blogging, and I'm not making $1,000 a week in my blog. I can afford to, make that investment, but it's an investment.
So going through Waterfront Digital Press to create an ebook, would that be the essential way to market the book before it's actually published in bookstores?
Well, it would be, yes. I mean, it's a beginning. You would still need to do the heavy lifting as the author on the marketing. We do, we can get a press release out. We can do a couple of minor things we can promote to our list. But we're not really, that's why if we really could market it, we'd be more like a traditional publisher where they take 75% and give you as the author 25%.
Oh, okay.
Because we're open and transparent, we're not pretending we have the secret sauce. So we think the author, should get the lion's share, but then, of course, the author needs to do the lion's share of the marketing as well.
Interesting.
Yes. And Bill, that's some amazing advice. And I can see Roxy and Dawn both here. They're like really excited. They're already actually starting blogging and typing right now as you speak. Because you have that power over people, Bill. Though we want to talk about your new book, but I have a quick question, okay? Because it's about the whole Mayan thing.
Sure.
My birthday is December 21st. Okay, so here's my thing. On my birthday, the only thing I asked for was that the world not be destroyed last year. And did I get one thank you card or anything?
Nothing.
On the 21st, that's all I asked for. Just do not destroy the world. And it was supposed to come to an end last year. And I saved it. Nobody. Not even a phone call.
So you're like Superman, essentially, Jonathan.
But you know what? Not even a card.
You're silly.
Well, actually, you may have received the card and not been there to get it.
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
We're going into the Bill world now. Okay, well, tell us about your book.
Well, as you know, Jonathan, because we've had this discussion, the Mayans did not predict that the world would end. They did not predict the physical destruction of the planet. They did predict, in the loosest sense, that the world as we know it would end. Because basically what the Mayan calendar was saying, that this particular December 21st, 2012, was the end of a full long count calendar and was in fact the end of 5 consecutive long count calendars that together totaled up to 26,000 years. And how the Mayans knew this without our modern technology, but 26,000 years actually corresponds to the exact cycle in the wobble in the rotation of planet Earth. So it's not an arbitrary number to have the world end on this day or at this amount of time. But they're talking about the change of an energetic cycle, not the destruction of the physical world. So the change has come, and my new novel, The Power of 12, is all about, okay, what is this change meant to be, and how do we actually step into this new energy, and what is this new energy?
Very
and
interesting.
I did a lot of research with the Mayan and with other civilizations, because although it's the Mayan calendar, it's not a uniquely Mayan idea that there are cycles and that we're about to enter, or at least have the potential to enter, a golden age, a literally age of heaven on earth. And I know with all the chaos out there, it certainly seems things are getting worse, not better. But the prophecies from many indigenous cultures are in fact positive prophecies. And what they're talking about is that we need to change the energetics on our planet from a primarily spiritual masculine energy to a more feminine spiritual energy, not to get rid of the masculine, but to create a greater sense of balance. So there needs to be more focus on spiritual values, on the use of intuition, on the use of kindness, sharing, caring, and the softer emotions, and not just on winning and accumulation and short-term material gain.
I have a little sign on my computer. It says, all men are created equal, but women rule the world.
That's actually the destiny of our planet. So it's not really limited to women. It's feminine energy. And I would say, for example, that in my own business life, and I was captain of a football team, a baseball team. I'm a guy's guy. But in my business world, I think I've incorporated many feminine qualities of listening and wanting everyone to benefit, not having winners and losers in business.
Right.
And so I would say that in many ways I emanate more feminine energy in business than some of the women business leaders that I've interacted with, who in many cases are alpha males in women's bodies.
Interesting.
So it's not so much just about, men versus women. So I think that, all things being equal, you're going to find more feminine energy active in women than in men. And, it's not a surprise that we're seeing more women in powerful positions both in business and in government.
Right. Now, do you prefer to work with women or men? Does it matter to you? I mean, does it make a difference? Do you feel like a different energy?
I do feel a different energy. It depends. In some ways, it's easier for me to work with men because they care less about details, and I don't care so much about details. With women, the details really matter, and the process really matters. It's a different way of being, and so it depends. I mean, I enjoy both. I have great female authors, great male authors that I represent. For whatever reason, I do have more women than men who have worked with me, so... And there's more women actually in positions of power in publishing than men. But
Nice.
I would probably, if I had to, draw a line, say, I'm more comfortable doing business with guys.
There you go. It's easier. I understand what you're saying. I'm surrounded by two women here who are amazing before they start kicking me.
There you go.
So, Bill, tell us about your book, though.
Okay, well, The Power of 12 starts with the premise that the world did not end, and why didn't it end? And what is this new cycle all about? And to protect the guilty, I create a fictional world in which it's Earth 769 instead of normal planet Earth, because the main protagonist from the first novel is living in human form on regular Earth. And the Council of 12, which lives on planet Naranjada, is made aware by the keeper of the information that there's a problem on Earth 769. And because of the end of the Mayan calendar, there's a wrinkle in time in which the universes are leaking information one to the other. And the negative thought forms from Earth 769 are leaking into the other universes. So they can't just let Earth 769 self-destruct. And Earth 769 is really just another version of Earth. The same people are on there, it's just in a different time and space. And George Bush is one of the main characters in the novel, and he's part of the Skull and Bones and the Illuminati, and it's fictional, so don't take it too literally. But the bottom line is you have this character, Arnold Wheeler Dealer, the Grand Light and Keeper of the Code for the Illuminati, and he becomes aware of a movement for full feminine power now, which is backed by, and I use real people in my novels, Jack Canfield, Barbara Marx Hubbard, some other people that I've worked with who actually do have a project called Project Wake Up, and so he doesn't want to see Project Wake Up disturb the status quo, because in his mind, the Illuminati knows what's best for everybody, and it's 319 families, and they're controlling 90% of the wealth on power on planet Earth, and he wants it all to stay that way. What he doesn't know is that his activities are leading to the destruction of the planet. And if the planet is destroyed with these high-level sensitive people who originally joined the Illuminati because they were enlightened beings, becoming the actual reason for the demise of the planet, these negative thought forms are going to pollute the entire known and unknown universes and destroy everything. So that's the basic plot of the novel. And then it unfolds, and there's a solution, and there's people intervening, and it looks like, typical cliffhanger. But within it, there's a lot of philosophical ideas that resonate with what is actually happening on our own planet at this
I love that story. Very cool.
So it sounds like an amazing book. Where can our guests find it?
Well, you can get it, of course, Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all the bookstores. And, if that fails, go to williamgladstone.org, and I think there's buttons there that'll connect you, directly with vendors. And you can go to Audible to get the audio version. And, I'm getting great reviews on the book, and
awesome.
I'm sure that if you pick up a copy, you're going to have some fun with it. And what's good about the book is you don't need to be into these ideas. It's just a good read. But at the same time, if there's somebody, in your network and you'd like to get them thinking a little bit like, could it be that, there's more than meets the eye to our daily existence? They can read this book. I mean, I introduce concepts that, such as walk-ins, the Council of 12 who live on a different planet, have to ask permission to walk in and share the body of Barbara Marx Hubbard, and some other things happen. And these concepts may seem really weird to certain people, but if you're already, they don't happen until the middle of the book. So if you get somebody starting to read the book, and it starts off very conventional, there's a diamond mine explosion, and it's kind of like make a good movie. So you can get people who aren't necessarily into philosophy and these ideas to at least get into them through this novel, and that's part of my goal in the book.
No, that's great.
Congratulations, first off.
And we're really excited about it. I am still sticking to my story that I saved the world. I'm just telling you, so if you want to write about me, I have no problem with that.
Okay, well, I don't know. It'll have to be the next one, but, I don't know. I've got the 12, the power of 12. I don't know what, I want to keep with my theme of the 12. So the 12 ways in which Jonathan Stone saved the world.
Exactly.
There you go.
Great.
Exactly. Well, Bill, oh my God, it was such an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show, and you're such a wealth of knowledge, and we hope you join us again, and everybody needs to go out and get The Power of 12, the book.
Okay.
I will.
Well, I'm happy to have been on your show, and I'll be sending you guys some of the other great authors just in real quick. Tom Hartman has a new book coming out, Crash of 2016. Master Shah has a new book coming out, Soul Healing Miracles. And
awesome.
Yeah,
Greg Reed has a new book with the Napoleon Hill Foundation that just came out, Stickability. So there's lots of good books coming, and hopefully we'll get some of those good people on your show.
Thank you. We so appreciate you, and have an amazing day, and we'll keep in touch, and we'd love to have those authors. You're a rock star.
You guys take care and keep doing what you're doing.
Bye,
Thank you. And you're listening to the Create It Now radio show. We will be right back in just a minute. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Michelle Roxy Davis. We'll be right back.
From the entertainment capital of the world, listen to On Stage in Vegas on the fourth Thursday of each month at 9 p.m. right here on KLAV. You'll hear interviews, stories, and valuable life and business lessons from performers, producers, and directors who have created success on stage in Vegas and around the world. Join me, Big Magic Al Jensen, and Michelle Roxy Davis as we bring you stories from the stage that are guaranteed to inspire, motivate, and entertain. If you can't make it live, log on to VegasAllNetRadio.com to find show archives and bonus interviews. Either way, we look forward to seeing you on stage in Vegas.
I'm Wyland, and this is for Create It Now Radio. I hope you guys will all listen in. It's got a great message.
We're blowing it out at Gene Woods Racing Experience, Las Vegas's newest premier outdoor adrenaline-powered gasoline go-karting track with speeds in excess of 45 miles per hour if you've got the balls. We've got 2-for-1 Tuesdays, buy one and your friend rides free. We've got $5 off coupons, and remember, on your birthday, members ride free. And they get a free Gene Woods Racing Experience t-shirt, open Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. till 11. Saturday and Sunday, noon till 11. And we're located at 121 East Sunset Road in Las Vegas Boulevard at the Sports Center across from McCarran Airport. Come blow the doors off your competition at Gene Woods Racing Experience. Once you race here, you won't go anywhere else. Be there. Be there.
those who can do. This is Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. If you are just tuning in with us, we were speaking with Mr. Bill Gladstone about his book, The Power of 12, and also about how to become an author. If you missed it, don't forget you can re-listen tonight at 11 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com, or you can check out his website at WilliamGladstone.com. So we also have in studio today Michelle Roxy Davis.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm groovy.
Good. And we've already said you're a model, a columnist, and a radio show host. You have modeled for Vegas Rocks Magazine, Lazy Star Clothing, Gene Woods Experience, and the list goes on and on. You are also currently writing for the Vegas Rock Magazine as a columnist.
Yeah.
And then along with that, you're a radio show host on your own show called the 702 Rock Show every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. on Vegas All Net Radio. And you have a podcast called the Jelly Drop Shop, where you can find at jellydropshop.com.
That's right.
You sound as busy as Bill Gladstone.
Seriously, right?
I need to ask him more on how to delegate time, because he sounds like he's got the golden touch for that.
Yeah. And on top of all of that, we have joined forces between Create It Now and 702 Rock Show, and we are helping local musicians bring light to what they do and help them get started in the business. And since this is your brainchild, give us a little bit of information of what inspired you to start this project.
Well, first off, I came to Vegas and I saw how many talented people there were, the entertainers, the performers, the musicians, the artists. I mean, the list goes on and on, not to mention videographers, photographers, models, just people that are out there and giving their all to get noticed. And, you know, I came to First Friday thinking, wow, look at all of these people that are showing off their talent when it came to painting and playing music and performing. And there was just such a huge group of young people that really just came to First Friday to show off their talents. It didn't matter if it was a hula hooper or a ventriloquist or a contortionist. I mean, when you go to First Friday, it's like a huge circus of people. And I found out that Zappos sponsored it and supported it. And I just thought to myself, wow, how can I be a part of this community? I myself am a musician. I started off at 15, writing my own songs, writing my own lyrics, and then I went to college for recording broadcasting. And talk about a tough market as a musician to get out there and to have yourself be seen. So when I went to First Friday, I just kind of reminisced of how I was as a child trying to get out there, and as a teenager just trying to make that next move. And I saw so many kids like that I thought, wow, I want to do something to help this idea of First Friday with Zappos, not only to be a part of the team, but to inspire and help the community.
That's
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I like that.
I think street performers are amazing. I have always been a huge fan of street performers.
Absolutely.
The discipline. People don't understand what kind of discipline it takes to actually be able to do that. And so you started also writing music at 15, so that was like, what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd like to think so. But if you really want to see some raw talent, go to Fremont Street Experience. Every single day, every single hour, there are so many impersonationists. Did I say that right?
Impressionist.
Impressionist.
But that works.
There you go. And
you coined a new phrase.
Thanks.
I
And
like
just people that want to get their talent out there and not exactly wanting to go to a Hollywood level, just have people appreciate their talent, working for tips. And from Fremont Street Experience, Zappos has now taken over downtown.
Right.
And Emergency Arts, that was just another amazing place that I just fell in love with. And the raw talent that is out here is just amazing. So when I went to First Friday and I started the 702 Rock Show, I just thought to myself, how can I collaborate the two? How could I really bring people on that are any age? How could I have them come on the show and show off their talent? And so that's kind of my idea that I'm unfolding. And I'm trying to, get all the permits. And thanks to the Create It Now team, we actually went to downtown First Friday this last First Friday, and we talked to the people in charge at First Friday. I registered. You guys have really helped me to put hands-on ideas to saying, okay, you've got the registration done. Now, where are you going to put your tent as far as location? Mm-hmm. Where is the best place for people to see the tent? How can you draw them into not being scared and make it look professional? And it's, it's moving right along.
Nice.
We're really excited to be part of it. I think it's going to be amazing. I was just actually thinking about an idea. Since we all have such a love for this, I think what we should do is have guests that are actually successful in the industry as well to help people and give them advice.
Oh, absolutely. Kind of stir the crowd in to watch these amazing people and listen to how they succeeded, and then follow up with people that are inspired by these stories to kind of launch off their stories and to create little dreams with the Create It Now team to get them going on their own level of dreams.
Nice.
That would be great. And we're here. We're completely supportive. And we could do like a Q&A with these people and let them ask, and I think what they want to know and how they need, what knowledge they need to take things to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that First Friday is every month, First Friday of the month, but I wish it was almost every week, because there's certain things within the community when you bring people together and you show off all this talent, it's a great feeling to know that people are aware of unseen talent. They are knowing that they can go and they can purchase these pieces. They can support their community. They can, bring other people that they know to join in and have fun.
Yeah, and I think that's where your radio show comes in, 702 Rocks, because it's every Friday at 4 p.m.
Yep.
And even though First Friday is only once a month, you are every Friday of the month. And
That's
so
right.
you can continue that tradition.
And, Bill Gladstone, he mentioned something really well with having to market your book before you actually publish it. Well, that's kind of how I was writing for Vegas Rocks every month. And I thought, I'm writing fashion, I'm modeling for the magazine. How could I take that to the next level? And I thought, okay, I'll start a podcast. And I found my love for broadcasting. I really love to get messages out there and help support people and inspire them to, make their dreams a reality. And so I basically unfolded 702 Rocks as art, music, and fashion, because when you look at a lot of unseen talent, they always say, oh, musicians or publishers or artists, there's a dime a dozen. I'm like, okay, good, more for me to bring on and have all these people and be a big smorgasbord of talent.
Smorgasbord.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know, that's a big word.
I love it.
I can't even say that word.
I didn't even know that was allowed on radio. Smorgasbord.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes me hungry. I want to make s'mores after I say that smorgasbord.
Right?
Smorgasbord.
Yeah.
There you
Excellent. Yeah, so a few weeks ago we came over and we joined you on your radio show, and so we're glad to have you here on ours to talk more about what we're going to be doing together and really getting out into that community. And when we come back from our break, I want to talk a little bit more about that, and as well as some other adventures that you're taking on in the community as well.
Awesome.
You're an amazing person here in Las Vegas, and you do so much.
Group hug.
Yay.
Aww.
So I do want to talk more about that. You are listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Dream It, Create It, and we will be right back.
Hey, it's Roxy from the 702 Rock Show, right here at VegasAllNetRadio.com. Listen to my show every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear about local artists, musicians, fashion designers, and more right here in Las Vegas. So tune in every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear me, Michelle Roxy Davis, right here at VANR on the 702 Rock Show.
This is is Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Those of you that are listening, I encourage you to listen to Create It Now, because it will teach you how to live full and die empty, how to begin to manifest your greatness and make your mark.
Welcome back to Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Welcome back to the Create It Now radio show. If you are just tuning in, we are speaking with Michelle Roxy Davis. She has her own radio show, 702 Rocks, as well as a columnist in Vegas Rocks magazine. And we're talking about First Friday and how we have teamed up and we are helping the different artists in town how to get their information out there, bring their dreams to a reality. And we're going to talk about some other things that you're doing here in the community. But before we do, I just want you to tell everybody about what's going to be happening this First Friday, which is November 1st. Are you going to be out there on scene?
Actually, yes, I have a location that I found, Osaka Japanese Bistro, and they're going to allow me to do a live broadcast where I'm going to bring in some artists and photographers and some models and basically represent what First Friday is all about before First Friday. You know, I know First Friday begins around 3 or 4 o'clock. So before the crowd actually joins in, which is about 6 or 7, Osaka Japanese Bistro, which is located at 4205 West Sahara, I'm going to be there broadcasting, and it's going to be a great event where we're going to pull together some talent and then bring it down to the streets where I'm going to be podcasting and taking pictures. So live broadcasting and then podcasting, which is pre-syndicated broadcast, and then take pictures and then follow up with that in my column in Vegas Rocks magazine.
Excellent. Very nice. So the different artists that are involved with that will have all these different mediums that they can now be a part of.
Absolutely. I'm going to have Billy Ward Photography. I'm going to have Valerie Mack from Fashion Mob, Las Vegas, and Jerry Blank, which is an amazing artist.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Super excited.
And I'm going to be having Mike Villatello. He's from the Guidos of Comedy. He's going to do a little entertaining while we enjoy some good teppanyaki food.
I like it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I hope you guys join.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So along with that, you're also doing lots of other things in the community, and I know one of your current project is called Gas Pedal Pinups.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my sponsor to the 702 Rock Show and Vegas Rocks magazine is Gene Wood's Racing Experience, which is a high-powered go-kart racing place at the Sports Center located at 121 East Sunset Road. And, we're pulling together a all-women's go-kart racing league where it is supporting the Las Vegas Rescue Mission. And girls get together every Monday and Wednesday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It's $10. And it goes all towards the Las Vegas Rescue Mission. And we're having our first race November 2nd. It's a Saturday from noon to 3. And all the girls will be getting an Osaka $25 gift certificate. We're going to dine afterwards in our uniforms. And it's just a great way for girls to get together, make friends, collaborate, and blow off all that steam when you've worked so hard. And I myself am kind of a workaholic, but I love it when I can participate in a sport and just clear my mind and beat my record time. And it's so awesome to get in these go-karts because they go about 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So they go really, really fast. You really have to focus. And Gene Woods is our coach. He tells us about the apex turns and G-force and, one turn leading into the other. So it's just really interesting to take my, I was an athlete all through middle school and high school, and now I'm finally back into a sport, and I just love to compete. So,
very good.
Yeah, it's great for the community. It's great to give back to the community, and I like to help local charities and to give back to what I call is just having fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
So are guys allowed to come watch, or do they have to wear pom-poms?
You
and
can
be
watch.
cheerleaders
No,
and
you can
stuff?
watch. Absolutely.
Nice.
We're going to start hopefully a men's league as well as a a ladies' league and a boys' league. And so right now I'm just kind of getting the works into getting the gas pedal pinups, which is 18 and over. And if anyone is interested, they can give Gene Woods a call at 909-877-9777 or go to the Gene Woods Racing Experience and sign up. And it's all going to a great cause. Yeah.
Excellent. I like it. I'm definitely going to be a part of that. I'm going to come out. We've been out to the track a few times, and it's so much fun out there.
Yeah, you guys were there at the grand opening.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a good
lot
time.
Of fun.
So I can't wait. What's your time? What are you at?
I'm at 29.6.
29.6 seconds for one lap?
Yeah, and there was a girl that qualified for NASCAR that got 29.1. So I just need to get, every practice, if I can improve by 1/10 of a second, I'm in. And it's funny because I get really mad if I don't beat my time. I mean, I'm like, I got to wait till Monday? No, right? I can't.
That's so cool. And I like how, too, that you're competing against yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to beat yourself in time, not competing against each other, but trying to make you a better
Every
racer.
Girl that goes out there, we always have a little hand signal if you beat your record. And every time I'm like, yeah, I'm rooting them on. They're rooting me on. There is no competition. But it is kind of a good edge to have someone who can race the same times as you. Mm-hmm. And I know that at Rating the Rock Vault, a couple of the dancers, Megan and Amanda, they're interested in racing, and I know they go really fast, so I'm really hoping they come out and show me some spunk to racing.
Yes.
I need someone to stand up and be on the same level as the girls are on the same level, but it's good to have teams.
Right. Absolutely. Very cool. Well, I love all the work that you're doing here in the community, how you're always out there supporting everybody. And
Thanks.
Here at the Create It Now radio show, we have Create It Now Angels, and we would love for you to become an angel.
Really?
Yes. That is someone who goes out and helps the community. And
I would love that.
Whenever we need your expertise, we can match you up with someone to help them out as well. So
I'd love that.
That
excellent.
would be great.
I'm an angel.
You're an
You
angel.
are. You were an angel before this. Now you're a Create It Now angel.
Stop it, darling.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us here today, Michelle. And
absolutely.
You are definitely going to be back next week. Yes.
Yes, on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Michelle's going to be my co-host.
And Dawn Elizabeth, thank you for letting me do your makeup today. You look so gorgeous, darling.
Thank you. Beautiful. I look beautiful for the radio.
Yeah.
So next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, make sure you join us from 3 to 4 p.m. And we'll have lots of special guests as well as special co-host, since I myself will not be in studio next week. So on Tuesday, we'll have Jonathan Stone and Michelle Roxy Davis. Wednesday and Thursday, we will have Jonathan Stone with Magic Al Jensen. Lots of guests and interesting segments next week, so please make sure you join us. You can also re-listen to our broadcast on VegasAllNetRadio.com Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 11 p.m. to midnight. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Create It Now, or on Twitter at Dream It, Create It. Anytime you have anything that you would like us to talk about, please send us an email, create@createitnowmedia.com. If there's a segment you'd like us to cover, or if there is information about how you're out in the community and doing something for someone else in our community, please go ahead and tell us about it so that we can talk about it on air and let everyone know what it is that you're doing. Don't forget to tune back in next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for all of our great shows. And don't forget to dream big, take action, and create it now. So say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Have an amazing weekend.
Yeah.